Recently, the Ethics Committee of the Lok Sabha is believed to have recommended the expulsion of Trinamool Congress Member of Parliament, MP Mahua Moitra, from the Lok Sabha for her unethical conduct and breach of privileges. The Special Inquiry Committee of Parliament is a body with the authority to investigate and report on subjects of public interest. The committee comprises of members from various political parties who are appointed by the Speaker of the House of Commons. Parliamentary committees are of two kinds: standing committees and ad hoc committees. Standing committees are permanent and regular committees which are constituted from time to time in pursuance of the provisions of an Act of Parliament or Rules of Procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha. Committees to inquire are one of the committee under standing committees, and it comprises of Committee on Petition, Committee on Privilege and Ethic Committees. The Ethics Committee was constituted in 2000 to oversee the moral and ethical conduct of members and examine cases of unethical conduct referred to it. The committee examines complaints filed against members of the House by other members, outsiders through a member, or referred by the Speaker. The committee makes a prima facie inquiry before deciding to examine a complaint and presents its report to the Speaker, who places it before the House for consideration. About privileges committees. The parliamentary privileges evolved in medieval Britain, 14th-16th century, in order to protect the interests of the House of Commons and its members from the excesses of the king. It includes the power of the House to punish its members and outsiders for breach of privileges. The Privilege Committee or Special Inquiry Committee examines the more serious accusations against a member. In 1951, a special committee found a member guilty of promoting a business interest by putting questions in return for financial benefits. It was again a special committee that inquired into the cash for query scam of 2005, where 10 MPs of Lok Sabha were recommended for expulsion. Constitutional validity of an expulsion. The Constitution under Article 101 lists down the grounds for vacation of a seat by an MP. It includes voluntary resignation, disqualification, and continuous absence from the House for 60 sittings. Expulsion is not mentioned explicitly in the Constitution. However, the Supreme Court has provided conflicting judgments in this regard. In Raja Rampal v. Honourable Speaker, 2007, which looked at the cash for queries scam of 2005, it upheld the power of Parliament to expel its members for breach of privilege by interpreting Article 101 to include expulsion as a ground. But in Amrinder Singh v. Special Committee, Punjab Vidhan Sabha 2010s, the Supreme Court held expulsion by the State Assembly as unconstitutional. It held that such scenarios would frustrate the objectives of parliamentary democracy. The allegations of cash for query against Mahua Moitra are serious in nature, but the citizens of the constituency would be left without a representative till next elections or a by-election. It raises grave concern. However, the privileges of the House developed in medieval Britain to protect the House of Commons from an authoritarian king. It is important to preserve the dignity and privilege of the House. It is equally imperative, if not more in a modern democracy, to ensure that democratic representation is not prejudiced for political reasons. It must be noted that parliamentary committee proceedings are not as detailed as a judicial case that is conducted as per the Evidence Act. Even in this case, the Ethics Committee is believed to have recommended legal inquiry, and the CBI has already registered a preliminary inquiry. It would be prudent to set up fast-track courts to conduct trials for such cases in a time-bound manner of, say, 60 days. If they are convicted in such a trial, it would result in their disqualification under the Representation of the People Act, 1951. Otherwise, they should continue to be a member of the House.